Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start talking about multiplying fractions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unlike addition or subtraction, 1/2 plus 1/3, 1/2 plus 1/3, we have to find common denominators. So in this case, I would have to say, hey, 3 and 3. Here I'd have to say 2 and 2, and that would give me 3/6 plus 2/6. And now, because I have common denominators, I can add my two fractions together. 1/2 plus 1/3 is really 3/6 plus 2/6, or 5/6. It works the same way for subtraction. However, if I have 1/2 times 1/3, that's a very different animal. 1/2 times 1/3, all I have to do is multiply across the top, 1, multiply across the bottom, 6. That's it. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 3 is 6. That's it. That's all there is to it. Even if I had something crazy like 6/8 times 4/3, well, 6 times 4 is 24. 8 times 3 is also 24. That brings us to our first opportunity to reduce, because now we have 24 over 24. Well, wait a minute. They each divide by 24, leaving 1 over 1, or 1. So we can change fractions into mixed numbers or whole numbers, as the case may be, just like we could with addition or subtraction. Additionally, if, on the other hand, before I even multiplied, I could reduce, because I can say, wait a minute, 6 and 8 reduce to 3 and 4. So now it would be 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. You still get 1. Could also, of course, because it's the same as 6 times 4 over 8 times 3, I could say, well, wait a minute, 4 and 8 make 2. 6 and 3 make 2. 2 and 2 cancel out, leaving just 1. That's also a possibility. So multiplying fractions is nothing but numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, and then reducing what's left. Now, let's do something a bit more difficult. What if we have 6.5 times 3 1/3? 6.5 times 3 1/3 is not challenging. We simply have to take our mixed number and turn them into improper fractions. So 6 times 2, that's 12, plus 1 more, that's 13. So I have 13 halves, times 3 times 3, 9, plus 1 more, it's 10. So I end up with 13 halves times 10 thirds. Well, I can reduce a little bit, I guess, but really it's 130 over 6, or 65 over 3. Now, at this point, I have a lot of 3's that can go into 65. So let's see here. That's going to go 21 times, and that's going to leave 2 left over, so 21 2/3. Now, if I'm multiplying here again, let's take 1/7 times negative 1/3. Well, 1/7 times negative 1/3, I have a positive times a negative. If I have a positive times a negative, that means the answer is going to be 1 times negative 1, negative 1. 7 times 3, positive 21. Okay, let's take 2 more examples here. In this case, I have negative 3/4 times negative 2/3. Well, negative times negative is a positive. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 7 is positive 28. Well, again, I can divide this by 2 and this by 2. Get 3 over 14. Down here, I have a whole big mess of problem because I have a mixed number and a whole number. Well, the whole number is easy because I can write any whole number as a fraction by saying 6 over 1. That's not too big a deal. But I have 7 1/3. Well, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 more is 22. So I end up with this. Now again, I could reduce and say, wait a minute, 3 goes into 6 2 times, and I come up with 44 over 1. So I could do it that way, or I could have simply said 120, 132 over 3, which is 44 again. So either way. Okay, make sure you do the quiz online.